So we are going live on
I'm on
Facebook
Facebook.
in
Yeah, just do live on Facebook. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Let me know when we are good to go. I think it says that we are live.
Redirecting to
Are you
Facebook
seeing?
live page.
All right. I think we're live. Hi, everybody. All right. Sorry for having to restart this, but we want to make sure we don't miss any of this conversation. I'm here
So
to
should
talk
we start
about.
off with a laugh again?
Yes, let's do it. I told everyone
Okay.
that's like my Shagun ka beginning laugh. But we're here to talk about a brand new film on Netflix. It's called Dolly Kitty over Chamatte Sitare. And today I have Bhumi Pandekar, Konkana Sen Sharma, and the fabulous director Alankrita Srivastava to talk about this new film. Just so you know, it is coming out on September 18th. Please save the date, 12 p.m. on Netflix. Netflix, I have to say, you are slaying it. Some of the stuff you've come out with recently has been epic. We were just talking about Masaba Masaba, which I think is so good. But let's talk about this amazing film. Basically, maybe we'll start with Alankrita. Tell us a little bit about what the film is about, and then we'll show you little sneak peeks about the characters. I got to see about 20 minutes of it, and it is just so engaging and so relatable. So, Alankrita, tell us really quickly what the film is about.
Dolly Kitty or Wo Chamakte Sitare is essentially the story of these two cousins, Dolly and Kitty, who um, are on a sort of journey to find themselves and find a little piece of freedom. And it's really about how they actually enable each other to find that freedom. But they don't do it just by sort of being really good and sweet with each other. It's a sort of a love-hate relationship. It's a tumultuous relationship, and but it's like how they kind of impact each other's lives, and both of them are living in like it's set in in the outskirts of Delhi, in Noida, in fact in Greater Noida. So it's also about like women in the city trying to make their lives work, and about like their internal journey. So Dolly and Kitty are divergently different characters, and yet they both have like this sort of spirit to want to live life to the fullest despite their circumstances, and I love them both.
I love them both too. And I was just saying, even though I may not identify exactly with their situation, I'm not in their situation, but I love them both so much because I get it and I see what they're going through. And even if you think like, oh, well, they're going through the typical roles of having to deal with the patriarchy and that's just who they are, there's so much more interesting than that. There's so much more depth. But let's take a quick sneak peek. And I think, Shravan, you can play a preview of Kitty's character. I think we're starting with. Right, guys, this is a little peek before you see the final action.
वो एक लोन चाहिए था।
नो लोन पॉलिसी का तो आपको मालूम है। चाय होगी?
मिसेस यादव, आपने ऑर्डर किया था कि वो 5 सितारे।
रेसिपी ना व्हाट्सएप जरूर कर दीजिए
हाँ, पर वो तो मम्मा ने खाना ऑर्डर किया।
अरे भरा, तुम अंदर जाके फ्रेंड्स को पेप्सी दे दो ना।
कैसा लग रहा है?
कुछ महसूस ही नहीं हो रहा है।
मैं कहीं ड्रॉप कर दूं आपको? आप हमेशा 3.5 सितारे देती हैं, क्या पता इतना कमाल क्यों?
खाना में अच्छा लगता है।
जहाँ मौका मिलता है वहाँ चाहत भी हो जाती है। एक बच्चे से लड़के को लवर बनाकर पागल हो गई हो, ऐसे ही घूमते रहोगी तुम लौंडों के साथ।
मिसेस यादव, आपको आखिर हुआ क्या है?
कुछ नहीं, बस चाय का मजा आ जा रहा है।
Absolutely epic. You can already see so many shades of this character. Konkana, I'm just going to jump in with you here. Tell us who Kitty is. Who is she and why is she, this person? What's her story?
So
Dolly.
Oh, sorry, Dolly. Sorry. Yeah.
No. So Dolly is someone I think that we all have kind of come across because she's this, she's a middle class woman. She's ticked off all the boxes that she's supposed to. She has 2 children. She's married. She's working. They have they're getting a house. They have a car, and this is the kind of path that has been laid out for her, but by society and societal expectations, etc. But it's also like, but once I think Kitty comes into her life, her cousin Kitty enters her life, and they have this kind of a unique love-hate relationship as well as some kind of a bonding, but at the same time also this kind of a curiosity, perhaps some resentment towards each other. They are each the catalyst towards the other's life, because I think Dolly somewhere even though she has all of these things, I don't think she realizes, or if that's the question, like, is she really happy? Do checking these boxes make you happy? I mean, is this the way that one has to live one's life, or can you take those decisions for yourself? And what I love is that what Alankita has done is that I don't think that Dolly necessarily recognizes whether she's happy or not, or recognizes whether this path is for her or not. But because of Kitty coming into her life and influencing her life, I mean, she slowly goes through this journey, and she comes to realize, what it is she really wants, what are her priorities, what it is she really feels inside, and not necessarily what she's supposed to feel or do. And she's not at all, I mean, she does all kinds of things. I feel she's pretty badass. She orders food and she pretends she's cooked it, or she's, she has a younger person she's interested in. She, lies. She does all kinds of things like that, so she's not, she's ticking all the boxes, but she's not necessarily just a very good and virtuous kind of a character, which I love, because I feel like all my life I've been playing very earnest, good, virtuous women who are just always very responsible and, always correct. And I think Dolly's not, and that's what makes her interesting and real.
You're so right. I was going to say she is such a badass, and which is why when she goes from the traditional role of what she's supposed to fit into and suddenly says, hey, I'm not doing it this way, you can see just how she slays everyone. We talked a lot about the influence Kitty had on her. So Bhumi, we're going to do a little sneak peek of your character, and then we're going to come back to Jessica and ask a whole bunch of questions of how she put these girls together and how she made that work out. Okay, here we go. Yes, let's get this to play.
Should we let it load?
This is loaded. I'm just...
okay, great.
Of course, it doesn't play when I need it to play, but... Sorry, guys. Should start in a second. All right, 1 second. There we go. All right, here's Kitty.
तुम भी आओ ना फोटो में। अनारकली के बिना मुगले आलू बनी है क्या?
मैरिज सर्जरी या ऑपरेशन के? एक तो बेड चाहिए था बस। हेलो, मेरा नाम किटी है और मैं रेड रोज रोमांस ऐप्स की तरफ से आपकी नई कंपेनियन बोल रही हूँ।
ऐसा कर लिया तुमने?
जी।
चलो अच्छा है। रोज रोज चिंता नहीं करनी पड़ेगी।
और हम तो बस कुछ मिनटों के लिए बात कर रहे हैं।
कुछ ही मिनटों में भी इश्क हो सकता है।
मैं क्या पानी पालो थोड़ा जिया एवे न खिंचो नहीं। हेलो भी बोले किसी में हमारा बॉयफ्रेंड बुला सकते हैं अक्सर।
हाँ बेबी।
तितली वर्गी उड़ती है तेरे कलर में लख कुड़े।
अच्छे घर की लड़की लोग ये सब काम नहीं करती है कजरी। चाचा चाची को पता चलेगा तो?
हमको शर्मिंदा ना करो बिटिया प्लीज।
जीजू जो आप इस्तेमाल किए वो
किच्ची चांदी है। मैं बताने वाला था।
कब बताने वाले थे?
As you can see, that's a real firecracker of character. And can I just say, I was really blown away with the whole red rose.
Right? I was too.
It's just...
I was too.
Alakrita, I have to ask you, you've always done such epic films. You've created such storylines and brought to life female characters that we don't get to see enough of. We always say that there should be more strong roles for women. There should be more, but we don't get to see the flawed girls. We don't get, we always, when we do movies about women, they're always the, okay, I saved the world, or the Sati Savitri, or, you don't get to see the flawed characters, and you don't get to see the ones that are finding their way. So what do you think is unique about the girls in the story, and why do you think it's so important to tell their story?
It's interesting that you spoke about flawed female characters. I just feel like women are human beings, and so I feel like, they exist in shades of gray. So, things make them happy, things make them sad. They do things which are not necessarily considered good. And, they are vulnerable, and yet they're ambitious. So I just feel like, women are also real people. And I'm very, very interested in the complexity of women. And, and I think Dolly Kitty was created from my interest in this, having women who are trying to sort of find themselves, and they are all and they're both really, really imperfect. And I find a lot of beauty in imperfection, actually. And also I think for me, what's interesting, particularly about Dolly and Kitty, is that they also are both very morally ambiguous kind of characters, So if you look at them with a very like straight-laced lens, you might be like, what kind of, people are they? But the thing is that they are real people. And I think, we all do things, because there's something that is driving us. And I don't think that, women should be judged. And I feel like, for me, I like creating characters, like in the case of Dolly Kitty, as, women who might do things you may sometimes agree with, sometimes you may not, but you need to like sort of feel and understand why they're doing what they're doing and not judge them. So I think that lack of judgment for me is very, very important. And I feel like there is so much space for creating like, interesting female characters, because I think like for decades and decades, we've had a cinematic popular culture that has really been created by men, for men, with a very male gaze. And I think like there is so much work to be done in the space of interesting female characters. And I am so fortunate, I feel that, like Dolly Kitty could be created.
They're absolutely amazing. And I have to give props to Ekta Kapoor for this production as well.
Oh, absolutely.
She always nails it. She's really about getting into the flesh and bones of how women really are. And like you said, and I mean flawed, not necessarily in a bad way. I mean real, that nobody is perfect, and you don't always have to only make strong women characters the perfect mom or the perfect character. And Konkana, I have to say, there was a piece in the bit that I saw, which I thought was so interesting, about how when Dolly discovers that, her son is playing with dolls a little too much. And there's that little ambiguity of what is she going to do if people think that he's gay, or, all of that. And I wonder what happens in the minds of someone like Dolly, who, would just not be able to grasp or deal with that because of what society would say, So what do you think Dolly went through when you think about her when she discovered that?
Yeah, the thing is that this is what happens, I think, with women and women characters. Because we define them so strictly, it's like we've all had this unspoken agreement that this is how we're going to show women. Yeah. These things we won't show, and these things we won't show. This is what is allowed to be seen. It's like we have this unspoken agreement, and everyone's kind of abiding, and we all know what we have to say where. So it's amazing that Alankrita, with the first scene of the film, has just blown the lid off that. Yeah. Like even there in the trailer, right? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that Jiju hamare sath sex karna chahte. This is probably such a common thing. And it's never spoken about, in film. So, I mean, I remember reading the script and thinking, whoa, okay, great. We're all adults here. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. We're not like, there are no niceties. We're not hiding behind things. Because what happens is when we apply those kind of restrictions, we are never really seeing real characters. We're never really seeing real situations. We're never really seeing women in all their depth and complexity. So we never have situations like this. Like, what if you have, a child whose, gender or sexuality you're questioning? Like, how do you deal with that? What is she going to do? Like, she could either go like, I'm not going to view this. I'm not going to recognize it. I'm not going to acknowledge it. And whether she does or not, or how she does, of course, you'll have to watch the film to see how it goes. But at least it gives you the space to bring up something like this, to show how she reacts to it. She doesn't react to it the same way through the film. She's also evolving thanks to Kitty being in her life and her life changing and her understanding of herself changing, that extends to her understanding of the world and of course her understanding of her children. So nothing is kind of, how it's supposed to be only, because then that's very boring, because that's what we're seeing all the time.
Absolutely. And I will say a couple of quick hellos. People who are watching live. Amol Parashar is watching, says, Dolly, with a lot of Ys. Urvi says, I love the concept of the story. Dolly Kitty Lanki. Priyanka Bachar is watching. Swagat, that's a big hello. Nandini, Dhawan, and everyone is saying that cannot wait to see this. This is such a relevant and must watch show. Best teen girl power. Bhumi, I have to come to you. I think Kitty is so interesting. And she's like the small town girl who's like, you know what? I'm going to be badass and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. And she really is constantly holding a mirror up, to Dolly, and is a little bit judgy of her and wants to tell her the truth, even when, and I love that you did this whole scene of telling her, mere jiju sex karna chahte, in the horror, in the pit of going through this, scary house. And I think that was just so brilliantly done. And I wonder, what do you think Kitty's character thinks of Dolly in that world? What is she? Does she judge her? Does she have sympathy for her? Is she jealous of her? What is it?
I don't think Kitty generally judges anyone. And that's the reason I kind of did this film. She is this young girl who is kind of dealing with adulting. She has left this small town in Bihar and come to Noida because she's full of dreams and aspirations. And she just feels like this city is just going to change her life. She's not really had, I don't think she's been in a very suppressed environment, but still there are just so many layers of social conditioning that women in India go through that, we don't really get our chance to break out. And coming to Noida is her chance of breaking out. And she looks at Dolly's life, and from a distance, it looks perfect. Because that's the life that Kitty's trying to get. That's the life that she's trying to achieve. She feels like she's got a loving husband. She has great children. She has this flat that she lives in. She has a car. She has a job. She's so close to Delhi. And that's exactly what Kitty wants. But she does not want it out for wedlock. And that's why I was very excited about playing this girl, because, as all these other brilliant women have, what they've said earlier, is that it's all about celebrating not your imperfections, but it's just about having so many layers and shades in your life. Nobody is right and wrong. And generally, women are so whitewashed in our country that it's good to see them do something that's ballsy and gutsy. And that's how I see Kitty and Dolly's journey. These are gutsy characters, and they do things that aren't really expected out of, and that aren't really seen on celluloid, especially if you are a part of a so-called mainstream film. And this was like the biggest trigger for me. I remember when I read the script, I was like, okay, me doing this part is going to take some guts and some balls, and I'm just going to do it, because I don't know how often will I get a chance like this. Because, just as Coco, all the characters that I've played in the past have been very correct. And Kitty is also correct, but she has a stand about the things that actually matter. She is a survivor. I feel every girl at some level is going to connect with something that Dolly does or something that Kitty does, because, irrespective of the background that you have, there are certain prejudices and there are certain experiences that women throughout the world face and have. And I think that's the exact connection that I had with the script. I was like, these girls are flawed according to societal standards, but they actually aren't. They are absolutely right. They're survivors. They're ambitious. They want a better life. They want to be independent. They want love. They have desires, and they are complicated, and that's beautiful. That's exactly how I am. And they have a voice. By the end of the film, it went by. It's Kitty's coming of age. It's Dolly finding her freedom, and it's an instant connect. So I feel where Kitty's relationship specifically with Dolly is concerned, and I don't think she'll ever judge Dolly, because, I think by the end of it, just woman to woman, she'll always support her. And that's what always happens, as friends, as sisters. The relationship is complicated. You fight, you do everything, but you'll always support a girl.
Yeah, so true. And speaking of that, so Malini's Girl Tribe is watching. We have about 50,000 women which sit in a community that hang out and talk to each other. And they're all saying how they've seen the trailer, super excited about it. And what a phenomenal cast and director. Alankrita, I have to ask you, I also love that it was, she moves to Noida, because all these stories are always comes to Bombay or they're in a small town. Nobody talks about Noida. I used to live in Mayur Vihar, so I know exactly what that's like. So I want to know how much of that location do you keep in mind when you're directing a film like this? Does that impact how you get the characters to behave?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you may take a call of how much of that will filter into the film. But I think when you're writing the film and you're conceiving of it, it is important for me to locate characters in a specific space, in a specific milieu. And there is, of course, my mother lives in Noida, and I spent a lot of time in Noida once I finished from boarding school. So I know that, and I also know Greater Noida, which is actually where they live, which is not even Noida, and Greater Noida has this very weird kind of urbanization, which is, they think has taken off, but has not really taken off. Their buildings are unfinished, and a lot of retired people are living there, but like malls are empty and they're like strangely built. It's a strange sort of a space, but the people who come there, there are a lot of people from like say UP and Bihar, etc., who come and live there. And for them, this is their access to Delhi. You know, so I think I wanted to like that whole sort of newly developing India, and like poking some kind of like, it's just like to explore that urban space which is not a settled urban space. It's like a place which is also, so just like Dolly and Kitty are kind of, they're in construction, they are finding themselves. That space is also actually metaphorically, it hasn't found its feet. It's always like, yahan pe airport banne wala hai, this is going to happen. And my mother owns some property there, and every time like she's like, the rates have really gone up, and now have you heard this? So there's a constant thing about Noida, and especially about Greater Noida. So I think I wanted to explore that aspiration, which is sort of there, and how do you function in this kind of a space. So it was important for me to locate Dolly and Kitty in that space, because the very fact that Dolly's arrived and is already living there and all, so it's like, oh, she's like, so back in Bihar, it's like she's got an amazing life, and that's a thought with which Kitty arrives, and then here it's like nothing is as it seems. And also then Kitty arriving is like, Dolly is like, oh my God, what is this person who's come and she's challenging everything that I believe in? And her Noida is so different from, so Dolly's Greater Noida or Noida is so different from Kitty's Noida or Greater Noida. And I think there's an interesting thing that sort of gets, explored over there, because they're not in the traditional small town space, which I was very clear. I didn't want to set them in that space. They've already escaped that. But now what, and now how difficult or easy is it going to be to find yourself in the city?
Absolutely. And I'm going to just tell everyone who's watching, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. You have a great opportunity to ask that now. I have to ask you, Konkona, if you were best friends with Dolly, and I think in some sense you are now, what advice would you give her about her marriage, about Kitty, about her work? What would you tell her? Because I think that I have shades of that friend. I have shades of that person. And sometimes you want to sit that person down and say, I see you for the amazing woman that you are. Why are you letting people get away with all of this? What would you say to her, knowing who she is?
I don't think I want to give Dolly any advice. I think she's doing really great. What is amazing is that she is able to look within. And I think too many people are telling women what to do and giving us too much advice. Everybody is telling us what to do. Everybody is telling us how we should behave, how we should dress, what we should say, what we should eat. And I don't think I want to do that to any other woman. I'm interested to know what she would think. I mean, and I think I have a glimpse into that because Alankita has fleshed out that character so beautifully. And it's so specific. It's not generic. As Alankita said, not a generic small town girl, not a generic big city girl. It's I think all these specificities really make a character more authentic and more real and more relatable. I don't want to give Dolly or Kitty or any other woman any other advice rather than to just follow your own heart, figure things out for yourself, and give them that space to do that. And I think that you'll see that Dolly does that really well in an interesting way.
That's so true. And Bhumi, I'd love to know what you think Dolly and Kitty would think of all of us, even the girls having this conversation right now. I really wonder if, it was reversed and they were talking about the four women here who, we think of ourselves as so progressive and successful. And what do you think, Bhumi? What would they think of us?
Listen, I feel, I feel women across the globe are progressive. They just don't have the opportunities, or they just don't realize it. Just like what Dolly and Kitty go through, right? So it is their journey. So I don't think they are the types who are actually going to sit back and comment on anything, because they are so damn busy with everything that's happening in their life. And it's a whole bunch of things that are happening. But I feel they would definitely be happy, because they would be more included. They would feel more included, and they would feel like, we all are trying to make a difference in our own little way. We all are trying to make a point in our own little way, just like they are in their own little world. And I think we all are together. Yeah, we all are one. They are a part of our conversation. They are women that we know. I know a lot of women like Dolly and Kitty, and that's precisely the reason why I did this film. I have different shades of Dolly and Kitty within me, and I think the conversation isn't just about them. The conversation is about globally what's happening in the world. And more power to many Dollys and Kitties across the world that have dreams and aspirations. And I really hope many of them get inspired after watching us.
Absolutely.
I just want to jump in and add also that I think Dolly and Kitty would be very happy with this kind of a conversation, because the problem is that they're only hearing one kind of conversation.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everybody's only having one kind of conversation. Bas aise aise
Yeah.
hona chahiye. Any kind of different conversation, everybody's like, no, don't say, it's not allowed. So I think Dolly and Kitty also would be like, acha chalo, it's good, because I think everybody should have exposure to different kinds of conversation. Different kinds of conversations should exist, so that we are a little more tolerant of like differing points of view also.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's so bang on. And Alankrita, I had a conversation with Rega Jha, ex-editor BuzzFeed, and she said women sort of function in this green room of the world, where we adjust each other's bra straps in the bathroom and we talk about stuff in hushed whispers, but we don't say stuff out loud. What do you think are the main things that people will notice that we're saying out loud that women don't say out loud? That the things like you said, ki mere husband, तुम्हारे husband मुझसे sex करना चाहते, जीजू करना चाहते. What are the couple of things that you think people are going to be the most surprised and maybe pleasantly to see?
I think there are two things. One is, I think that things women don't say, and also I feel like the automatic reaction we expect from women. We also sometimes, if a woman is going through something, like, "Arey, why didn't you walk out?" Not understanding what that life kind of entails. So I think there's a lot of judgment, even the first thing that you brought up, also always expecting women to be brave in your vision of what it is to be brave. Why? And having like this sense of right and wrong. So what I hope that people do get from the film is that actually there isn't any right or wrong. There is that moment, and what you can make of that moment, considering where you are at in your life and what you can understand best, and how, and how Bhumi said that, and how you can just survive. So I think, like, for me, I think maybe, I feel that it breaks that idea of, if X happens, then the woman should do Y. If Y happens, a woman must do Z. It's like, no, she can go from Y to A and from K to L. It doesn't like it, it's just what makes her work her life out at that moment. And I think, like, to give women that kind of space and empathy. And I feel, of course, the thing is that Dolly and Kitty also, it's not like they're so such besties, and in a very kind of sweet way they are like sharing all their thoughts and secrets. It's like there are things that are affecting them, and sometimes whether they want to or not, it's just that they have an unfiltered relationship, so they can say things to each other, and it's very honest. And it might seem like, why are they saying it? But that's the beauty of their relationship. Like, it doesn't need a filter, so they can scream at each other, or even abuse each other, or say the dark, like, they reveal their darkest secrets, or sometimes put on a total facade as well. So I think, to me, that's interesting, that it's like their reactions are unexpected.
I also feel it really breaks like the typical stereotype कि what's a good girl, अच्छी लड़की, अच्छी माँ, अच्छी बेटी, अच्छी बहन, like this word that you have to just be this perfect person, not have any opinion, not have any thoughts, and this is exactly, if this is the path that the society has set for you, this is the only path that you can take. And I think that's a very big notion that this film is going to break. And it's just not about what Dolly and Kitty do. The film is full of some wonderful women doing some brilliant things, and not just women. The film also has, even the men in the film, they're also quite shaded. There's no right or wrong, and I think that's the best part about the messaging of the movie, that we all are confused, and it is okay to be confused, and it is okay not to take the most righteous path, because if by the end of it you are happy, you're only going to spread happiness. And it is okay to have an opinion, and it is okay to lead a path that is different from the world.
And you were mentioning earlier on, and whoever would like to jump in, I love that you have gotten international recognition for this film. I think that's great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Nanki, I think.
Yeah, so we actually finished the film last year, and it premiered at the Busan International Film Festival, and we had a lovely time. Ekta, Coco, Bhumi, me, all of us went, and it was really nice. We all saw the film, on the big screen together in Busan. And and after the film is, after that, the film is traveled to Glasgow, where it was shown, on the closing day as part of their special sort of celebration for Women's Day, part of the Glasgow Film Festival. It also was part of the official selection of various other festivals like Miami, the Miami International Film Festival, the Cleveland Film Festival. It was supposed to be the opening film at a big film festival in London and all of that. So it's and Bhumi got an award at Busan as well, Face of Asia Award for the film, and we got a lot of love for the film in Busan actually, and that was like a very special thing because we were all together. Glasgow, I was alone. Bhumi and Coco were not with me. But Busan was lovely, and we really did feel like, people from other cultures were really connecting to the film. So, yeah.
It was actually my first time attending a film festival like Busan. And I was so overwhelmed by the response that people had, because it was a different language. And I remember after the film was done, there were these women that just came up to us and they were crying and they were so overwhelmed. They just wanted to hug us. And I was like, wow, it was so overwhelming. And that's when you realize, right, that art has no language, it has no borders. And, as I said earlier, there are certain experiences that everybody relates to. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm so sure that when people across, all the audience that Netflix has across, I don't know how many, the number of countries and the millions of subscribers that are going to watch our film, I think the reaction is pretty much going to be universal. I think they're going to give us a lot of love. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure. And I kind of want to watch a crossover of Indian matchmaking and then Dolly and Kitty, because I would love for see my auntie to try to find a boy for Kitty. But anyway, before I let you guys go, conversation.
That'll be a tough one, Mahalini. That'll be a very tough one.
Very difficult. But I think this sounds really exciting. I could talk to you guys about this forever. It's such a great story. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. Before you go, I just have a quick game for you. We're going to do a who's most likely to for your characters, right? And Alakta, you also have to guess, okay? Who would do this, Dolly or Kitty? You just scream out the answer based on who you think, okay? So who's most likely to dance on a table?
I think Dolly.
Dolly,
100%.
Who's more likely to flirt with a hot waiter?
Both.
Is it going to be
both?
Including all of us. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to get married for love?
Kitty? Yeah, Kitty. She's a believer.
Romantic, yeah.
Who's most likely to beat somebody up?
Dolly.
I think, yeah.
I think Kitty's getting there.
Getting there. Who's most likely to shoplift something cute that she can't afford?
I think both.
I think both, yeah.
Who's most likely to cheat on her boyfriend or husband?
Both.
Both.
Who's most likely to have a gay best friend?
Both.
Maybe Kitty more.
Yeah,
Kitty more. Yeah, I think so too.
Who's most likely to get drunk at a wedding?
Dolly.
Who's most likely to love Bollywood gossip?
Kitty.
And finally, who's most likely to be a great matchmaker?
Kitty.
Yeah,
Kitty.
Dolly, I don't
know her own problems.
I think Dolly would think that she's a really great matchmaker though, but I think it's one of those things. Thank you ladies so much. One last thing before you go. I think there's what I think I really love is that there are shades of every woman in each other. So I'd like to know, if it was you, who are you more of? What percentage of who do you have? So I'll start. I'll say I think I'm more Kitty, but Dolly is my spirit animal for so many reasons, What about you think? What about you, Lankrita?
Well, I think I must say both of them. Like, I feel like for me, the characters are very, very personal, and they always, though the circumstances are very different, but I feel like Dolly and Kitty are both very, very personal, and I feel like they're really extensions of me in some kind of way. So I think I'm definitely part Kitty, part Dolly. Yeah.
What about you, Bhumi?
I think I have my days when I'm Dolly and I have my days when I'm Kitty. I personally love Dolly as a character. I think she has a lot of spunk. She's really badass. She's really gutsy. A lot of it is also because, of her experiences that she's already had, and Kitty's kind of on the same path. But I have my days, yeah. I'm a believer. I'm a diehard romantic. But at the same time, I am the type who's going to be on a bar drunk dancing. So I have my days.
I don't think I'm like either. I don't think
Coco?
yeah, I'm definitely not like Dolly. Maybe a little like Kitty, maybe. And maybe a little like Kubra's character, you know? Like deep down inside. What was the name?
Shazia.
Shazia, yeah. Chala,
Awesome.
Shazia.
She's lovely. I love her.
Yeah, I love her too.
Yeah,
Kubra's part is great in the film.
I didn't actually get a chance to see her parts, and I'm really curious to catch that in the actual.
Now you're going to see the whole thing. And all the men who are also different from each other. It's not like the men
Yeah.
are and they're all bad at all. So
Absolutely, I agree, and you can see shades of Dolly's husband loving her as well, and being all these different things. So many shades of gray. Thank you guys so much. I know I've taken more of your time than I was supposed to, but I just absolutely love this conversation.
thank you, Malini.
Thank you, Malini. Thank you so much.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And guys, remember September 18th on Netflix at noon. I'm going to watch. We can have a live conversation as we do. I'd love to know what you guys think, and make sure you come back and watch this so you get a little more insight once you've seen what we're talking about. Thank you, ladies, so much. And thanks everyone for watching live.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.